Hello, everyone, and welcome to Leader with Jennifer Zock. Today, I have the privilege of being joined by Diane Fountain, and allow me, to introduce you to Diane before we jump into our conversation. Diane is an accomplished human resources leader, experienced in aligning organizational culture to achieve strategic business objectives. She's proven successful in building relationships at all levels and partnering with senior leaders to facilitate change while successfully driving strategic objectives. Welcome, Diane.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. You and I have been working together over several months now, adding somatic awareness to your leadership toolkit. Let's start with what was leadership like for you before somatic awareness?
Yeah, I always like to say that I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I kind of use that as my excuse for sometimes not always being in tune or self-aware with where how my emotions were affecting maybe my response to a situation or to something that someone had asked me about. And so um it's definitely something that I've now been able to understand that how your body feels, it's sending you a message and telling you that, there's, danger, or, is this safe, or, is it just uncomfortable, and are you able to, get past it? And I would say before all of meeting with you and going through all of the sessions, I was not aware of that, and I would just react in the moment. And sometimes, that would come off in a way that I didn't want it to. It wasn't intended, and maybe sometimes having to loop back to people and explaining myself in more detail, or clarifying, or even apologizing in some cases. Yeah, sorry, I kind of overreacted in that situation. I just my emotions got the best of me.
Yeah, and that's very normal. We are always contending with our biological wiring to survive. And now that you have that awareness, how has that affected your relationship with yourself and with others?
Yeah. So, it's kind of like I've given myself permission to be okay with, with what's normal, right? It's just sometimes that you don't realize everybody else is going through some of the same things you are and feeling some of the same things, and so it's okay to have those emotional reactions, but to then feel it, recognize what it is, and then to be able to, you know, um, take a deep breath, or whatever your, things are that you do to manage that is has been really has been really helpful for me. So, and then you had a second part to the question. Say that again.
I asked about relationships with how it affected your relationship with yourself and with others.
Okay, yeah. And so, just as making that awareness to myself, and number one, allowing myself some grace, because you're working through, you're now aware, and sometimes that's the biggest piece, is awareness, and then how you manage that. And so then relationships with others, it feels like I've been able to give myself permission. One of my tools is to not answer questions right away. It may be that I get up and I take a walk. It may be that I just simply remove myself from the situation, or it may be that I ask those questions: Is this unsafe, or is this uncomfortable? And so that has given me an enormous amount of, I'm going to say, power, because I always felt like I had to be, the person that answered the question. It had to be the right answer. I had to hurry up and think really quick about what I was going to do to get that question right, or just respond and have people understand that I was engaged, in the conversation and things like that. And that was a lot of pressure I was putting on myself. And so that has helped me to actually have better relationships with people, even sometimes with people that you don't always have the best relationships with. Is there's so much power in giving yourself permission to say, I don't have the answer to that question right now, but I want to think about it, and I'll get back to you when I'm ready to revisit this conversation. You've just kind of given yourself a lot of power in that. And so that's given me a lot of comfort. And I think that's helped me with my emotions, reacting in an emotional way, maybe in a conversation or in a meeting or those kinds of things, because I've taken some of it's my own pressure that I've put on myself. I've taken some of that away.